Welcome back to the Arbor League. I'm Arbor Andy, and thank you guys very much for 100 subscribers, as the increase of subscribers and viewers enables us to have more stream abilities and provide you guys with more content. As a thank you, I've accumulated some Stardust and was going to max out a Pokemon to level 50, but I've decided, as a thank you, to leave it up to you guys and let the viewer decide the content. So shout out to Mill's House for being my 100th subscriber. So Mill's House, along with the rest of you, will decide what Pokemons I max out to level 50. So I will show you what Pokemon I have ready or just about ready to max out. I will also provide a list in the comments of which ones I have ready. So if you see one that piques your interest, leave a comment and I will take the most requested Pokemon to max out to level 50. So you guys are responsible for what happens to my Stardust. Doing it for the content for you guys. Chestnut's happy about that. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to be showing you guys a list of ones that I have ready or just about ready to get maxed out. Just about ready means I could use some rare candy to get some XL candy out of that, but got some level 50 guys here, and I had some that are level 40 ready to go for Master League, but if they're taking away the classics, then it's not going to be very viable and it won't stay true to the word. So let's go into level 50 here, and I've organized them in numbers here so we're not getting too confused. Poliwrath here. He's a 98. We got perfect attack, perfect defense, that's perfect. Just the HP you don't need to worry about too much. Master League, what does he get up to? This one actually gets up to 2917. So I know like some Pokemon in the Master League are, above 3000, but Poliwrath is pretty good. I think he might be able to beat Dialga and Groudon, some of those heavy hitters here. Next up we got a Machamp, another 98. We've double moved this one. Some of the other ones we haven't double moved yet. We're going to save that for when we're also maxing them out. This Machamp gets up to 3447. That's pretty good here. Next up, we got Drowsy. Now, I think I've got two Drowsies here. Yeah, and I think the regular one was better than the purified one. Let's see what we got. He gets up to 1165. The only thing about the purified one is he's still got return, so that could be a little bit spicy. That 1153. So 1165. Yeah, the regular one is still better. So we have two options for these. We could keep it as a Drowsy for Great League, or we could evolve it into a Hypno for Ultra League, or we could do both of them, save one for the Great League and one for the Ultra League. Again, totally up to you guys. Next up, we have a Voltorb. I've maxed out a Electrode for Ultra League. You guys can see that. I'll link my video in the comments as well. My Rainwald team, Windwallen was a big problem back in the day. It's still pretty good, pretty viable. It's a good Charizard counter, so we got a Voltorb here. Up to 1137, not too shabby. It's also a Lucky, which is awesome because it requires less Stardust to use, which is even better. So we got one of those going on. Next up, I haven't even maxed out my Gyarados. Don't get angry in the comments there, but yeah, Gyarados, I had him in the Master Classic when our Classic level 40s were around. Lots of Gyaradoses, great Metagross counter, so I think it could be viable even in Open Masters. I've actually Dragon Tailed this one instead of Dragon Breath. I just like Dragon Tail. A comment, what do you guys like better, Dragon Breath or Dragon Tail? What's better in the Master League? So this one, we get up to, it's a perfect, so the perfect reaches 3811. Did I see that correctly? 3834. I hit a button by accident. That's okay. 3834. It's pretty good, Gyarados. Next up, actually, we have a Meryl here. So I was even thinking about building a Ultra League Azumarill at one point. I know it only gets up to like 18 something, but Azumarill is like pretty tanky in the Great League, so we might see what an Ultra League Azumarill does. Let's see this one. Yeah, 521. So this one's not going to be that great for Little Cup. I have actually an Azurill ready to go for Little Cup, as we have enough XL candy for that. So we can find a better one for Great League, one with a lower attack. So I guess this Meryl here's only option is to evolve to Azumarill and make an Ultra League Azumarill, which is kind of spicy. I've made an Ultra League Diggersby, and yeah, it does lose a bit of bulk. It's only getting up to 18 something, so here it is. It's a 96 with perfect attack there, and not double moved yet, and we can get it up to 407, so not quite Little Cup cap, but still viable. I would assume it's pretty tanky, just like Azumarill is. We'll see when the next little cup comes around, because this one is eligible. Marill is not, because Azumarill is the pre-evolution to Marill, so that's why Marill was not allowed in the little cup. I like building Spice, so let's see what we got over here. We got a perfect Politoed, and there it is, perfect across the board. This gets up to 2769, so again, not, you know, around the 3000 mark, which is more ideal, but again, Politoed's still pretty tanky. Spam me with that Weather Ball. Great, another great. Poly family is just great all around. I know everyone's going to hate this next one. We have a Granbull, a perfect Granbull ready to go here. Not double moved yet. Oh, it is double move. Oh, yeah, because I was using it for Great League for a while back before, when I learned about IVs being a thing, so I maxed out, not maxed out, but built a Granbull for Great League. It just ended up being 100 there. Next up, Lanoon. This doesn't evolve to the Obstagoon, it's just a regular Lanoon here. So we're going to be getting up to a CP of 1872, again, which isn't the greatest, but it is a normal type. Might be able to counter some Trevenant or Jellicent types in the Ultra League. Up next, we have a Dustox. So Dustox here gets up to 1384. You do have to max out a Dustox for Great League, because it doesn't even get Great League in before level 40, so you do need that Hundo there if you want to max out a Dustox for Great League. Not the greatest. There probably are better bugs. It is kind of tanky. It just struggles with its fast moves here. Oh, it does get Confusion, so yeah, not too bad there. It does get a boost move, and is a Confusion user, so it's not too bad. And we also have a rank 2 Shiftry. So let's see what we got going on here. Its IVs are 4, 15, 14. Hopping over to Stadium Gaming, it is going to be a rank 2 without the best buddy, but with the best buddy it does drop to a rank 18. But if we don't have the best buddy on it, it is a rank 2 there. That 4, 15, 14, looking pretty good. Shiftry, very viable in the Ultra League. Great Swampert counter. Haven't double moved that one yet. No Community Day on it either. Doesn't have Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed or Snarl, either one is preferred. Up next, I have a perfect Swellow. Now I do have a Pidgeot in the Ultra League as well, but I haven't TM'd that to Wing Attack yet. It's kept Gust. I still like Gust. I want to keep one as a Gust, so maybe an alternative here is going to be this Wing Attack Swellow. Has pretty much the same moves. It's got Sky Attack and Brave Bird. Not double moved yet. It does get up to 2170, so decent CP for getting up into that Ultra League. Next, we have a perfect Gardevoir. I've used that for Ultra League. It's also perfect Purified. And it's also got the Community Day of Synchronize as well. Synchronize, Shadow Ball. Awesome. It's up to 3497. It's a pretty good CP for Master League. I know some other people have done some videos on it, and it proves very viable in the Ultra League. Up next, we have a Aron. I've got a perfect one of each of these. We can do a Great League Aron here. This one gets up to 1478. So yeah, the Hundo is pretty viable for Great League. Not quite 1500, but 1478, good enough. I know Agron's pretty glassy, so I haven't tried Aron yet, but there were some videos on Aron as well. Aron's not too bad. Just a Metal Claw user, that's the only drawback. But Lairon here, we've got a perfect Purified Lairon. There it is. We can max out to level 50 for the Ultra League as it gets to 2324. It's not too bad of a CP there. Iron Tail or Metal Claw user. I've used it in the Shadow one in the Great League. It's not too bad. This one's got Return, so it does have a normal type move to do some neutral damage. You're not stuck with Rock or Steel moves if a ground comes in. Say Swampert, and then you're basically walled if you got rock moves. And I think this might learn Rock Tomb as well. My one in the Great League does, so, and it does debuff your opponent's attack. Up next, we got the Aggron. Like I said, we've got the Hondo one. It's also Mega'd. It's not quite max Mega level yet, but we're able to Mega Evolve it without any Mega Energy, increasing that Mega level, getting those benefits there. Double moved. And we do have enough to max one out to 3391, which is also not a bad CP for the Master League. Just too many ground and water types and fighting types in the Master League, but Aggron is a good raid counter. Up next, we have a Snover. We can max out to 1001. Not the greatest CP in the world, but a little spicy. As we know, Frostlass is pretty great in the Great League. Glalie, not so much. Snorunt, probably even less so, but we could even try out an Ultra League Frostlass. Up next, we have a Purified Walrein. We could max this out to Master League there. Gets up to 3050, not too bad of a CP. Oh, and we do have enough, but we only have enough for one of them. So, what do we have? Oh, we just have one here. Yeah, I just wanted to keep the one. I think that was my best Walrein for the Master League. Up next, we have a Staraptor, a 98 there, just with perfect attack and perfect HP. What does this get up to? 3184. Okay CP in the Great League, but again, there are better flyer options, probably like Yveltal and Ho-Ho, because it does have the Community Day move of Gust, though. Need to change that. Heat Wave, though, but Staraptor can be a little spicy in the Great League and the Ultra League at times. It's got Close Combat and Brave Bird. Anything with Brave Bird or nukes like that is a great Pokemon. Up next, we have a Bibarel. I know everyone's going to hate this one. If everyone hates Bidoof as much as they do Bibarel, this one only gets up to 2038 CP. So we'll see what happens with that, if how many votes this one gets. If there's some King Bidoof fans out there, then you either love or hate this one. Next up, we have an Abomasnow, and this one's going to be a Hundo. I was planning on using it for Ultra League, but it doesn't quite get up to level 50 there. It only gets up to about level 44.5 there, but we do have, I think, yeah, 3 XL candies off maxing it out. Oh, sorry, 96. Okay, so 23 candies left from maxing it out there, but we can just rare candy that up or catch a bunch of Snowbirds. It's winter where I am right now, so we do have some Snowbirds floating around there. It does get up to about 2670, so again, not an ideal CP for Master League. I think I remember King IV actually doing a video on Mega Abomasnow in the Master League, so I mean, Abomasnow is probably a great raid counter as well. So a couple of these, not PvP ideal, but maybe raid ideal. Up next, we have a Purified Magnezone. I have a, see, I think I've already double moved this one. Yes, I did, yeah, because I was using it for Ultra League for a little while. This one gets up to a CP of 3609. Not too bad. Great flyer counter. Just got to watch out for some Focus Blast from Yveltal. Other than that, great in the back. Up next, we got a 98 Gallade. Yeah, it's going to be perfect defense, perfect HP, close combat. So no Community Day on this one. This one gets up to CP of about 3483. Looking pretty good, Gallade. Up next, we have a Stoutland. A 98, same perfect defense, perfect HP Stoutland there, with getting it up to 3182. So okay CP, and I guess it works all right in the Ultra League at least. It's an Ice Fanger, so it can take care of those dragons there. It's got Wild Charge, Crunch, decent moves, resist ghosts. So might not help that much. Maybe against Giratina, great Giratina counter in the Master League. And up next, we've got a Ducklet. So it's going spicy here. And I think this might be an Ultra League Swanna because I'm not very happy with this CP of only 956 here. I know it's still 96, not perfect attack, but I think even a perfect Ducklet isn't going to cut it here. So I guess we'll vote this one for an Ultra League Swanna. Up next, we have a Sawsbuck that I built for the Ultra League. It's at 24.99, pretty good CP there. Made a video about it a little while ago. Check that out. Scroll through my videos. I've got pretty spicy Sawsbuck battles in the Ultra League, so I've already double moved it. Feint Attack, it's only a great move. It's not the greatest. It gets Takedown or Wild Charge. Takedown doesn't charge. Well, it charges great, but it's another slow turn move. So we got Feint Attack, Wild Charge, Megahorn there. So you're thinking, well, how do you get rid of Swampert? He's got Solar Beam, but it takes way too long to get to, and that Megahorn actually does a solid amount of damage. And unless that Swampert's running the Sludge Wave, I mean, any grass is a great counter to Swampert. So since it's already partly maxed out at level 43.5 there, we can max the rest of the way to 2700, 04, and send it into the Master League. Up next, the one and only Chestnut. So this guy I had for level 40. Again, he was a great Master League counter. I'm sure everyone saw my short on it, why I built it for the Master League. So the Master League that I used that for was only the level 40 when we had the classics around. So now that we have enough candy for it, because of Community Day, we can max it out to 3324, which is pretty good. Might be, again, a great Kyogre, Groudon counter, maybe even Dialga. It's got that superpower of Double Movement and Frenzy Plant. It still hits like a truck. Next up, we have a Trevenant. Now, the only reason that I have this on the list, it's not level 50, but it was for the Ultra League. I think it's the only one that I have where I have enough dust for and enough candy for, as you can see here, because it costs less dust, has less candies. It's not XL. It's only, yeah, it's about 48.5. So we can build one for the Ultra League there, not double moved yet. It's just hard to find Phantup candy when it's not Halloween. Up next, we actually have a Toucannon. Oh my goodness, here, Bullet Seed Flash Cannon. It's got moves similar to Ferrothorn. I think it also has Drill Peck, Rock Slide, kind of glassy, I'm gonna guess. It gets up to 3032 CP, so an okay CP. I actually haven't used one of these in any league. If you have, let me know in the comments. What's it like? Should I bother? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to bother if you guys vote for it. I mean, I want to try it, but I mean, again, totally up to you guys. We have a Stuffle ready to go. We could max this out for Master League on the Beware, because I don't think this gets a... Yeah, it goes above 1500, so for the Great League, you actually want something with lower attack just to get that stat product maxed out to 1500 as much as possible, but get that max CP down. So probably maxing that out as a Beware. So I will only evolve these if you guys vote to max it out. If it needs evolving, then obviously I will. Some of these are ones that I want to max out. So if you see ones that I'm just kind of scrolling by, this Oranguru here is Ultra League, so it's going to have low attack. Unfortunately, to max it out, it will need that level 50. I just don't have enough XL candies. I have a hundo that I'm working on also at the moment that gets into the Master League range. So it's kind of hard to build, you know, consecutive same Pokemon when you keep using candy for them. So just as a heads up, so not all of these that are on the screen here have the ability to be maxed out. Just ones that I want to max out eventually. That one's going to be for the Ultra League. So we do have enough candy so we can get that to the Ultra League, but technically it's not, you know, maxing out per se, but it's just maxing out at the league that it's able to handle the CP at. So the next one, we actually are about 5 candies away from having a Ultra League Greedent here. It gets up to 2511 as a maximum CP. We can 49.5, and it does get up to 2496, which is a pretty good CP for the Ultra League, and also not too bad of an IV, as it's only about, yeah, half a level up at 49.5. Or we can max out this Obstagoon. I know it's an Obstruct Obstagoon. I like an Obstagoon as a pick, as a Metagross counter for the Master League here. Let's see what it gets up to, about 2977. Again, not reaching that 3000 mark, but still pretty viable for the Great League, as Obstagoon is pretty bulky as Obstruct. Going over to my other list here, we have a lucky Alolan Raichu. I know it doesn't quite get level 50, again technically not maxing out, but just a few levels below, and it gets up to the perfect 2500 for the Ultra League. So it only requires 216 this XL candy, which we do have. Another one we have ready to go is the Oddish family here. We have a perfect Oddish, pretty spicy. Another Razor Leafer, not the greatest bulk. It does gain a little bit of bulk through its evolutions here, but we have an Oddish ready to go for 1389 CP. We can max it out to level 50. The only problem is its moveset. I mean, it's stuck with Razor Leaf. It does have a Seed Bomb, but we've got Moon Blast here, which takes a while to get to if you are running Razor Leaf. Or we have a Gloom ready to go for Ultra League. Change that asset later, obviously, but it only gets up to a CP of 1895, so not even the 2000 mark yet. So pretty unfortunate for Gloom. Or we have a 98 Vileplume ready to go. You could use it for Master League. Again, unfortunately doesn't quite reach that 3,000 mark here. And again, the same kind of move set. It's got Razor Leaf, Solar Beam. It takes too long to get to, and I don't think Razor Leafers are that viable in the Master League. Kyogre, Groudon, they've got Fire Punch and Blizzard, and these guys are kind of glassy, so not the greatest counters. We do have a Poliwrath here. I know I use it for the Great League, but this IV here, I've labeled it 0, 9, 11. It is viable for both the Great and the Ultra League, so that's why I've been using. I have a Shadow one, but I like using the regular one as well here. So it is ranked 18 for the Great League and 81 for the Ultra League. It does get up to a CP of 2496. Again, not totally maxing out, but we do need to get it up there, or just keep it in the Great League. Or we could get spicy again here by maxing out a Machoke. 2284, and it does come with cross trap. We will just have to elite TM that on there. To add more spice, we have a Skiploom here. A Skiploom, we could get up to 1093. Not ideal IVs, but very similar to Jumpluff, and I would assume very similar in bulk as well. Bullet Seed, Grass Knot. Or if you're looking for something for the next little cup, we've got Buttlebee here. He gets to level 49, which isn't too bad. 499 for that little cup cap. Beautiful. And the last couple, we do have a Slurpuff that is 96 with perfect attack. We don't quite have the XL candies, but we're almost there. We just need about 13 more. And it did get that Fairy Wind buff, so I mean, we go with Fairy Wind or Charm. It is double move because I was using it in the Great League. And we're still working on that Decidueye. We're almost there, just gotta walk off a little bit more candy, or use some rare candy, wait for that relic to come back, but that's one that I'm ready to max out for Master League there. So those were the Pokemon that I have ready to max out for level 50, and with the help of Mr. Mills' house, you guys will decide what Pokemon those will be. So thank you everyone for watching. If you do enjoy the content, leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It does mean a lot. I've been Arbor Andy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.